Hello there. I'm George Putnam. I'd like to begin with a fact, a simple yet shocking fact. It is this: a flood tide of filth is engulfing our country in the form of newsstand obscenity and is threatening to pervert an entire generation of our American children. We know that once a person is perverted, it is practically impossible for that person to adjust to normal attitudes in regard to sex.
I came out in the late 50s, and I got away with everything, but I made damn sure that everybody knew that I was gay. And since I talked about it, it wasn't so much a weapon they could use in my presence. Everybody said it was courage, the courage to be honest. But I think that the line between courage and insanity or madness or stupidity might not be very thick. My official name is Raymond Wayne Hill, not a junior. I was born in Baptist Memorial Hospital, which was across the street from City Hall, which was a very clairvoyant address. I spent half my career demonstrating in front of the building across the street from where I was born.
Do you think that homosexuality should be legalized completely a la Illinois?
Definitely, definitely.
Would you ever marry a girl who had been a homosexual?
Yeah. I think it would be more interesting.
In the old days, the cops would come in, and out of habit, everybody would hit either the bar or the wall. So all of the patrons would be like in a lineup. People just wince when I say this. But to the gay movement, the bars were what the churches were to black movement. It was the only institution they would let us have. And so as long as we were contained in bars, they didn't have to worry about the lobbies of their banks and their desks in their law firms and their hospitals. But that also made us easy targets. Now, Rita Wannstrom owned a bar over on Shepherd Street. The name of the bar was the Roaring 60s. And Rita Wannstrom was a great big old raw bone Scandinavian lesbian. Her nickname was Papa Bear, if that draws an image. Okay. And so Papa Bear called me, and what was happening is Officer Murphy of the Vice Squad, his wife left him for a big lesbian by the name of Big Seal. Well, we all knew Big Seal. And he, being the lieutenant in the Vice Squad, raided the lesbian bars to kind of get even. So the cops would come in and arrest every woman in the bar who had pants with zippers or buttons in the front. If the zipper was on the side, you were all right. If the zipper was in the back, you were all right. But if the zipper was in the front, that was perceived by the police officers to be cross-dressing. So when the cops would come in, all of the women would go to the women's room and turn their pants around. I don't know if you've seen a herd of lesbians with Levi's on backwards, but it is not a pretty sight. But the difference between having your buttons or zipper in the front or in the back means you go to jail. Your name gets printed in the Houston Post and the Houston Chronicle the next day. Your family, to whom you may be closeted, all of a sudden is deserting you. Your job, I don't care how much education you've got, all of a sudden your life is destroyed. And it is not infrequent that people commit suicide after getting picked up in a bar for doing nothing wrong.
Having to lie, I feel, is the saddest and the ugliest part of being a homosexual. When you have your first bad love experience, for instance, and you can't go to your brother or your sister and say, I'm hurting.
We haven't always thought about gay people like we do today. We think a lot differently about that, and you're welcome. I'm glad to have played a role in that. I certainly didn't do that by myself. And I've made so many damn fool mistakes that I could talk about those, but I don't, because I get to write this script, And if you get to write the script, you have every right to be the hero. And I am the one queer ex-convict you will meet in your lifetime who grew up to be who his mother intended him to be. And there's just no question about that.